Today, we're going to talk about the outrageous costs of premiums and how premiums rise each and every time. We were talking again to Kevin last on one of the podcasts, and Kevin talked about how it goes up 10% every year, healthcare. But premiums, dear Lord, explain how they keep rising.
It's absolutely insane. I've been in the insurance industry 32nd year. Scary. 31 years in this thing. And on my 32nd. But anyways, to cut to the chase, the premiums back then were 60, $70 a month for a single, 200 and something for a family. And the insurance companies, two things happened. Federal government started passing more and more laws, and the insurance companies became stock companies. So they weren't the old insurance companies that were working for the stockholders. Those are the two biggest things that occurred, and I'm referring to the HIPAA laws and the Affordable Care Act. Okay. So what happened then is the rates started getting up to, for a family, $1,000 a month. So it was like the cost of somebody's mortgage. And then you started getting the employees' rates creeping up to $200-300 a month. Then all of a sudden, they keep, 20, the rule of 72, divide the interest rate into 72, and that's how many years it takes to double your money. Well, it's the same thing with insurance premiums. So if you average 12% and your premium's 1,000, that means in 6 years, your premium's 2,000. So now I see people paying 2,500 to 4,000 routinely for a family. And I sit there and I'm like, wait a minute, that pays for my house and my cottage. And maybe a car. What's going on? And it's for something that, you may never use. And you can buy life insurance and disability insurance and dental and whatever else you want. $1 million liability, $3 million liability policies for less money by about 80% less than what you're paying for health.
Right.
And I'm just sitting there going, why?
And what do
And,
they do when they come to you, especially individuals? Because individuals do come to you as well. I've referred some. How do they respond when they see these savings?
well, the first thing everyone has is the notion that the healthcare.gov and the insurance state exchanges are like the devil and it's awful because it's Obamacare. And I sit there and I go, well, let me explain something to you. The Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, every health plan has to have certain things in it now. So every plan's Obamacare. It's just you have been told it's awful because the people peddling health insurance don't make as much money showing you this. So the first thing I do is I ask them, what's most people who own a company they have a lot of tax breaks, depreciation, you can go on and on. So a lot of times they're only showing, they make 50 or 60,000, and I show them that, hey, even if you make 150,000, you're eligible now for tax breaks. And the tax breaks allow you to pay virtually nothing for your insurance premium. So wouldn't it make sense to use the exchange so you can get your subsidies? You can get them up front or on the back end. I always tell them to get it up front, and then if you're concerned about your salary might be higher or the money you make that year might be higher, throw the extra in a separate account and then pay for it at the end of the year. It's zero interest if you pay it right away before April 15th or before. So what are you doing? Why let the IRS play with your money? Take control. So I'm sitting there and a lot of people, a couple of your folks you referred me to, their premium went from like 300 a month to zero because they didn't understand the subsidies. And a lot of people are buying this Christian health insurance plans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did it before.
and I laugh because that's like living on a prayer. You know, the old Bon
Are
Jovi.
you gonna sing? Are you gonna sing the song, Tom? Living on the Prayer?
Tommy used to work on the dock. Yeah,
Yes.
but anyways,
So maybe you'll get to interview Bon Jovi at one point in
yeah.
time.
So my wife met him in Las Vegas. Actually, she went to his private show the year of COVID. Yeah, it was good times. Um, so he should talk to me. I mean, damn it, he took enough of her money, not mine. It was all on her. But to get a picture with him, her and her friend, and he played a concert for like 300 people.
We
He's
call
good.
that
I've seen him live. He's good.
we call that gimmicks, Tom.
Yeah. You know what amazed me about his band though when I saw him in Louisville was how cut they all were. Those guys are in some good serious shape.
They got to be as the older they get and they tour. Okay,
They're
so
in some
I
serious
got you
shape. But anyways,
digressing, and that's
all
what I
right.
do.
Yeah, let's get back to the topic here.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So, health insurance kind of boring. It's people are being ripped off and their premiums keep skyrocketing. So I have companies literally that I save for like 105 people over $1 million a year in where they were before and now. So literally think about that, $1 million for 105 people. So that means they were averaging over 1,000 per person for health insurance. When the family rates are 2,800 or 3,000, it doesn't take much to get that up near, where you can save $1 million. So the first thing everyone has to understand is get the Affordable Care Act and Obamacare. That's the law of the land, just like the HIPAA laws. Get over it. You're not changing it, and understand how to take advantage of the tax breaks associated with it. It goes by your tax returns.
Right.
So
Mhm.
you can have 10 million in a 401k and it does not matter. What matters is what is your tax return going to show
Mhm.
this year as your adjusted gross. And there's a little formula. It's not truly the adjusted gross, but anyways, so that's how I show retirees. You got a Roth IRA, a life policy, take the money out, tax free, have your planner blended in. So you're showing very little income. So you get your health insurance and you can retire at 58 for
All
no
right.
cost.
There's so many different things. People need to go to claimlinx.com. I am going to prove so many people wrong that we could talk so many different things about health insurance. We're going to know the ins and outs of everything. But the bottom line of why we do this podcast is go to claimlinx.com and save money. I did. Other people did that I've referred you, and I've
Limit,
lost
yeah.
track who they are. But ultimately, at the end of the day, and there'll be more, if you want to save money on your healthcare, you're paying out of pocket, you are a company and you want tax benefits and to end up making more at the end as a company, the bottom line is contact ClaimLinx today.
Well, one other point, back to the Christian Mingo or Christian health plans. Um, I guess it's the health plans. We can talk about
Yes,
farmers,
yes,
daughters, and stuff later.
yeah,
But
yeah.
anyways, I had a friend. He happened to be Jewish because I'm very, I'm multi. I love everyone until I don't. But anyways, the Jewish guy told me he bought the Christian health plan. I said, well, don't they ask a question about Jesus? And they do. Do you believe in Jesus? And he says, well, yeah, we believe in Jesus. We just don't believe he's the prophet. And I just was like, wow, you got him on a technicality. Like, how are they ever going to prove that?
They're not going to. Well, Tom,
Good stuff.
good stuff. And that's what I love about Tom. He will speak out about anything, have fun. Appreciate it, Tom. Claimlinx.com. That was the Cutting Edge Benefits Podcast, guys. Take care.